Hi there, it's Liz Yule from Old Stables Crafts again, and this is today's project that we're going to be doing together. And again, this is another of the let's have a look at what's in the annual catalogue projects. There's lots of lovely stuff in the annual catalogue, and as I say, I think we sometimes forget with all the excitement of the new spring summer catalogue that we've still got the annual catalogue as well. So let's have a look at these. This is the Affectionately Yours designer series paper, and this has the added bonus of it's a specialty designer series paper because it's got this gold copper embossing. Let's see if I can get that to pick up the light. Yes, I can. Yay! So it's beautiful. You get two sheets with this gold copper embossing, this one and the other one that we're going to be using. So this is a really quick, easy card. It's also got an interesting technique using some heat embossing, which we will have a look at. And I've done a quick stamp on the inside as well. So let's have a look at what we've got. We're starting again with the Night of Navy card base, and this is an A5 scored in half and folded towards the mountain. Then I've got a scrap of A5, a scrap of, sorry, Night of Navy cardstock as well, and that really is a scrap. Then this is one of the standard pieces of designer series paper from the Affectionately Yours, and that I'm going to be using as a mat. And this is cut at 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, which is about 14 1/4 by 10 centimetres. And then this, again, let's see if I can get that to pick up. I think we're picking up the gold embossing. So this is the other design on the speciality of the two speciality papers, and this we're going to be using across the middle. I've cut this at a slightly different size as I did with this one. I just had the little strip top and bottom, so this is cut at 5 5/8 again, but 3 5/8 wide, so again slightly different. So this is again 14 1/4 by roughly, I want to say, what do I want to say? It's going to be about 9 centimetres. So that's that, and then we've got a piece of just plain Whisper White on the inside, and again that's 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, so 14 1/4 by 10 centimetres. And the stamping I'm going to be doing on the inside, I'm using the Avant Garden Celebration stamp set. As you know, or probably know by now, if you spend £45 or a multiple thereof, for each multiple of £45 of product you get to choose one of the Celebration items. There are lots of stamp sets, and then designer series paper and ribbon and a beautiful gold tin. But we're going to be using this Avant Garden set to stamp on the inside. We're going to start with our embossing, and I'm going to bring in my embossing buddy, and as I may have mentioned before, I keep it on a clip because I hang it on a strip by my desk, so that means I always know where it is. And then what I'm going to do is bring it in the Petite Petals punch and just punch out. I want to make sure I keep them the right way up, I was going to say. In fact, I may come back in and do the embossing buddy again. It's going to be easier, I think. So I want 3 of these. And you may be wondering why I want embossing buddy on flowers, and I am going to show you if I can get my embossing buddy back down. So let's just make sure that's properly done. And I need my glue dots. And I also need, having very carefully tidied it away, my piercing tool. And what I'm going to do is take a glue dot and pop it down in the middle of the flower. Do need to wipe it a wee bit to get the excess embossing buddy off. You want to try and get them down as circular as possible. But unfortunately you can't put the embossing buddy on afterwards because then the embossing powder won't stick to the circle. So those are not too bad. And then I'm going to bring in my copper embossing powder and just pick this up with a pair of tweezers. And then probably actually easier to press it into the embossing powder and then get rid of any excess. And I'll just press these in as well so that we've got these ready to go. But you want a really good coverage for this technique. And we've got radio silence. You should never have dead air, should you? Sorry, I'm concentrating so hard that I'm ignoring you, and I'm not really ignoring you. It's just we're on dead air. Right, so let's get rid of that and bring in our heat embossing tool. Just keep spotting some little bits of embossing powder. I'll just warm this up. I have just been using it on a previous video, but I'll give it another warm up. And here we go. So, and there you are. We now have a nice copper. Let's see if I can get you to be able to see that. Thank you. Yeah, there we go. If I put my hand behind it, it might help it focus better. But yeah, so I'll just quickly do one more because I have actually got one ready in Blue Peter style. So we only need 3. So let's get this one out of the way and I'll sort that out later. Pop the heat embossing tool down. Right, okay, let's put our card together because we're ready to go now. So, in the vague hope that I might actually have some glue in this, I do, hurrah! I'm getting to the end of this tube of Tombow, but it does give you a little bit of extra wiggle room, so let's pop this down. I do love that you can see how close that colour is, the colour matches. It's one of the absolute joys of working with Stampin' Up products is that the colours are true through the whole range. If it says it's Night of Navy, it's Night of Navy. So it does make it easy to look as if you've done all the matching perfectly and Stampin' Up have actually done it for you. Right, so this one is going to be right on the edge, and then we want just a narrow margin top and bottom. And because it's the glue, I have got just a little bit of wiggle room. So there we go. Right, for these, I'm just going to put them in the palm of my hand and press them down to give them a little bit of shape. I don't want them too dramatically shaped, just to give them a little bit of oomph. And I'm busy preparing. We've got a team meeting coming up in the middle of February, so I'm busy preparing. We do swaps. You don't have to, but you can join a swap group and do swaps, and I'm doing a couple, one of which you've already seen if you've been watching my YouTube videos. Right, so I'm just putting these in the top left-hand corner. The other one that the other swap group that I'm doing, so the one that you've seen is by the shore, and I'm also doing a swap with some items from Celebration, and I started the sample, and it's one of those ones. It seemed like a really good idea at the time, but it's going to take quite a while to do because it's got lots and lots of background stamping that I'm using just a bit of one of the stamps. So I've kind of created myself a bit of a nightmare to deal with, but I'm really pleased with how it's going. So I'm just going to go for it. Right. So we're going to replicate what we've got here. So to someone special, just with the flower and the background. So let's bring in the flower. I'm only going to ink up part of it. In fact, I'm going to bring in a post-it note just to make sure I don't overdo where I stamp, because I don't want more than just the head here. So I need crumb cake. So I'm just going to, because this is photopolymer, I can see through, so I'm just going to ink up the flower head. Mine is terribly stained because I've been doing all sorts of stamping with it with the archival ink, which does tend to stain. It doesn't harm it, it just does tend to stain the stamps. So pop that down, and I should probably be using my piercing mat, but for these I'm not. This is just for background, so I'm not too worried about that. I will bring it in for the sentiment. So that's that. And then I want more macaron and a piece of scrap paper, and this is very scrap. And for this I want just the background flower head, but I don't want this at full strength because it's actually quite a strong colour. If you see, that is quite a strong colour, and I just want its second generation, which is much paler. And I'm just going to, there we go, so that's that. And then for the sentiment, I will bring in my piercing mat because I do want this to stamp absolutely fully. Don't need the scrap anymore. And for the sentiment, what did we use last time? Lost the original. Here we go. So last time I did To Someone Who Makes Others So Happy. And this time I think I will actually do birthday wishes. Yeah, birthday wishes. Make sure you can see what I'm doing. I have the camera so that I can sort of see into it, but not fully. And I've changed my lighting since I did the some recent videos, so hopefully you're getting better lighting on this now. It certainly seems, as it's a fairly grey day, it does seem to be better than it was. Right, so making sure we are sort of square. And there we are. To put this away, and then we just need to put everything together. So, bring in my snail. And there we are. So from one designer series paper stack, you've got the very subtle kind of elegant look of this one, and then the nice bright pinging one from this. So this is the Affectionately Yours designer series paper and the Avant Garden stamp set. As ever, all the details will be in the associated blog post, which will be in the link below. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, subscribe. And there's a whole series that I'm planning to record at the moment, so hopefully those will be up very soon. If you need any of the products, just pop over to my shop. That would be great. I'd love to have you as customers. You get a free gift from, well, a thank you card from me, and if your order is between £25 but not over £150, use the hostess code and there'll be some Stampin' Up goodies that I will make sure you get a share in. They come out a wee bit after the end of each month, because I need to get those ordered up and packaged out. If you're buying products, remember £45, multiple thereof, free celebration items. It's also a great time to join Stampin' Up with the starter kit. There's no obligation with the starter kit. You just choose £130 of products of your choice, and during celebration you get 2 extra stamp sets free, and they can be any from the annual or spring summer catalogue. So depending on which ones you choose, you could end up for £99, which includes the postage, well, or rather the postage is free, but for £99 you could get, £220 worth of product. So brilliant time to start putting your toe in the water on that. And as I say, there's no obligation. If you don't want to continue getting the discount and what have you, then you just don't continue. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you again soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.